today I am going to be doing Beyblade Burst Squid games. Before we start into this, I want to lay out some rules. Rule number 1. The characters are not allowed to use any weapons, technology, anything of that sort. No, Renwu can't use his stick, Naoki can't use his computers, that stuff. And rule number 2 is to make things more, I guess, to give the characters more spotlight. I'm going to do 2 series for this. I'm going to do, the first episode is going to be just the season 1 and 2 characters. And then my second episode is going to have the Cho-Z characters and onward. So, we can give all the players a little spotlight. So, yeah. Don't be mad if Iger's not in this one. He'll be in the next one. Don't worry. Okay, I think that's all the rules. So, let me just quickly show you guys all the characters that are entering. Of course, we got our main 6, obviously, of Season 1. Then we got Hoji Konda, Xander Shakadera, Yugo Nansui, Ukyo Ibuki, Quan Limon, Zack, Akira, and Orochi, Ben Azuki, Naoki Minamo, Jin Aizawa, Gabe Brunei, Louis Shirosagi. And then we go to the evolution characters, where we have Free De La Hoya, Silas Carlisle, Kuza Ackerman, Christina Kuroda, Sasha Guten, Renwu Sun, Cleo DeLon, Joshua Burns, Gossa Madal, Kurt, Norman, Boa, and Theodore Glass. Total, I think that makes 31 characters, so we're going to have 31 characters entering this thing. Let's get to the first game. The first round. The first game, if you guys don't know, I'm going to give a brief summary about what the games are. The first game is red light, green light. What players have... Well, there's like this... You guys, I hope you have played the game before. Not the deadly version, but... Someone is it, and when they say green light, you're walking... And if they say red light, you have to stop. And if they still see you moving, you lose. And in this case, you die. So, I think the bladers that would do good would have to be Renwu. He's like a ninja guy. Ukyo is kind of the same thing. He's like a ninja. Let's see, and maybe even Yugo. I think there was another one I was going to say that would have done good, but I can't think of it. So we're going to go on to the eliminated. The characters who I think would get eliminated in the first round would be Rantaro Kiyama. Come on, he's going to fall. He's honcho. That's just kind of his thing. He would be dead. Then we got Zack and Joshua, both for the same reason. They would have to strike a pose when he says red light, and then they would get caught. Then we got Ben. He would be the type to not think things through and just rush for it. He wants to get there first, and he wouldn't really listen to the rules, and then he would get caught. And lastly, Quan. Without a skateboard, man, I don't know what he would do. Because that is technically bringing something. I was going to make him get eliminated because the skateboard would roll, but then I remembered the rule of not having any, you can't bring anything, so now I don't know why. He just got out. He just got caught. So that wraps up the first round of eliminations. We have lost 5 bladers. We have 29 left, I believe. the second game, it is like the cookie cutter challenge or something around like that. You get a design on a cookie that you have to use like a needle, and you have to cut it out. And if you do anything to damage the cookie, you die. You're dead. So, definitely a few players would get out from this one. Oh, let me go through some that I think would do very good. Naoki, he's a technical guy. You know, he would do good with this. Probably Shu as well. Maybe even like Theodore, you know, those more concentrated guys. But let's get into the eliminations. The people who I think would fail this would be Xander. He's a big, strong guy. He's not careful. We saw he broke his launcher. He would definitely just break the cookie in his hand. He's too strong. Silas, he would just get frustrated, I think, and break it. Gossam, we saw he kind of has anger issues, and he's strong, so definitely he's leaving. Then we got Jin. Jin Aizawa. I mean, just imagine trying to, like, focus on this little thing when you're half awake, like Jin always is. There's no way. Then, I made Vault past the first round, but his plot armor is not going to ruin this game, so I think Vault would get eliminated. Vault cannot draw, he cannot stay in the lines when he colors. If you saw his Bay drawing, he would just lose. And then, we got Wakia. And Yugo. They both, I just feel like, would get frustrated and accidentally break it. So that's all the eliminations from the second round. The third round, definitely the one with the most eliminations, is going to be Tug of War. If you guys, I think you should know how this works. Two teams will grab a side of a rope and they have to pull it. The team that pulls the rope, the competitor's team, into the center wins. So the team that is stronger, basically. And you are allowed to use any strategy you want to try to win this. It doesn't have to be pure strength. So, I've randomly categorized the Bladers in two teams. Let me go over them real quickly. So we have Team A, which has Boa, Louie, Hoji, Kurt, Ken, Akira, Chris, Naoki, Kuza, and Theodore. And then we got Team B, which has Norman, Orochi, Shu, Renwu, Sasha, Gabe, Daigo, Cleo, Free, and Ukyo. Now this was very hard to decide who would win, because both of these guys have some good strength people and some good strategy people. But I had to give it to Team A. Let me explain. We have Kurt, Louie, are both very strong guys. And we have Naoki and Theodore, which are very smart guys, you know. I mean, sure, the other team had Free, but he's like the only real muscle they got. I mean, maybe... Oh, they had Gabe too. They had Gabe and Free. But they also had Norman and Cleo, which I don't really think would contribute much of anything. I guess... Man, that is close. But so, we have Louie on this team too. We have Louie, Kurt... Hoji, it would be pretty strong. It was close. So the eliminations would be Norman, Orochi, Shu, Renwu, Daigo, Ukyu, Gabe, Free, Sasha, and Cleo. Let's go on to round 5 already. I mean round 4. Okay, in round 4, I'm a little confused of how this one works. It's like you have marbles, and you have to... Like you're on a team with someone, but at the end you have to betray each other. One of them is going to betray one of them, and the one that gets betrayed dies. So, the partners were just whoever were next to each other. So, the new partners are now Louis and Hoji. Louis definitely would win that one. No way is Hoji gonna stand up for himself. Louis won. Louis definitely would betray. Then we have Ken and Kurt. Definitely Kurt would win that one. Ken is just too nice. He would be too honorable, you know. And then Akira and Chris. I'm gonna go with Chris is definitely smarter and more strategic than Akira. I think Akira would lose this one. And then we had Naoki and Boa. Boa definitely would either give it up because he's honor, unlike Naoki, or Boa would just simply get tricked into giving Naoki the win. And then the last matchup is Kuza and Theodore. Definitely Theodore would win. He's a villain mastermind. Kuza didn't stand a chance. So that would be it in round 4. I hope that made sense to you guys. So now we're going to go on to round 5. The glass tile floor. So there's a floor of glass tiles. Some will break when you step on them, others won't. So they have to make it to the other side without stepping on the tiles. Now, remember, Naoki does not have his tech. Him being, I'd say, probably the most arrogant, he would think he just knows better and go first, therefore setting off the traps and dying. And Louis, he's kind of a competitive guy. At this point, he is going to go for the gold. He would try to push people off. Chris is just doing her own thing. Louis pushes her down. He pushes her out of the way, making her step on a breakable tile. Then Louis makes a mistake and tries to go after Kurt, but Kurt is probably stronger than Louis, so Kurt pushes Louis off after a fight. So Kurt made it was the first spot, and then Theodore was the second spot, just standing back, waiting for everyone to go, you know, making everything fall into his hands. That's just a Theodore thing to do. So the final 2 is Kurt and Theodore. I know you guys probably didn't expect that final. Honestly, me neither. And the final is they duel. There's one that like defends a base and the other attacks the base. So let's say, I don't know, Theodore is defending and Kurt's attacking. And this should be obvious. When it comes to pure strength, Kurt definitely has the advantage. Theodore's strategies are good, but Kurt is just too strong. And, you know, the villain always has to lose in the end. So, yeah, Kurt won. Kurt won the Squid Game. Theodore died. So, let's stay tuned for part 2 if you like part 1. I hope you guys did. Tell me in the comments what you think would have happened, how it would have played out in your mind. Thanks for watching. P.S. Question of the day. Who's your favorite from the Masked Bladers? Not like Red Eye and stuff like I did recently, but like Purple Eye, Gray Eye, Azure Eye. Who's your favorite from those eyes? Personally, I'm voting Yellow Eye.